What do you get when you combine Rice Krispies, oatmeal, and brown sugar? How about some Forest Ranger cookies? This is a newer recipe I tried about a year ago and it was a hit from the start. So tomorrow I'm going to see some friends and I never go empty-handed. So we're going to make some Forest Ranger cookies. So come on and join me. Okay, to our big mix master bowl, I'm going to put in 1 cup of butter. The original recipe called for margarine. I don't do margarine, so we're going to do butter here. So we've got 1 cup of butter. Now I've kind of softened it a little bit. Mine was pretty hard, but hopefully if you can remember to take it out of room temperature, you won't have to do that stuff. To this also, I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Measure with your heart. I don't measure by spoon or anything usually. And in here, I have a combination of 3/4 of a cup of white sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. Now, I like dark brown sugar. I find it gives a richer flavor when I bake things. And you can use light, you can use dark, whichever. Now, just a little tip there. Did you know brown sugar is made from white sugar with molasses in it? So the darker it is, the more molasses it has in it. We're gonna add 2 eggs to this mixture. I'm just gonna give this a blend here with my spoon. And I'm gonna put this on the mix master and we're gonna come back and see how it's doing. Okay, so our mixture's creamed up really, really nice here. We'll take a look at it. It only took a couple minutes to get it down to a really nice creamy texture. Now, something else that the recipe doesn't call for that I do is I add about 1/2 cup of milk. I just find it's kind of needed in this recipe. It made it a little bit dry with some of the ingredients, so this is just a modification that I made, but you can try it without and see how things come for you. So we'll put it back in the mixer and get it going a little bit more just to incorporate that. Okay, so we've got that all mixed up, and as you can see, it's all really nicely incorporated, blended in there, and I like to give the sides a little scrape down as I'm going along here. And if you don't have a mixer like this, you can do it with a hand mixer, or you can just do it by hand. It works just as well. So the next thing we're going to add is I have a combination here. I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, and 1 teaspoon baking powder with a little dash of cinnamon because everything's better with cinnamon. So I'm going to slowly incorporate this into the creamed mixture, and once we get this all mixed, we will add the last ingredients. So now we're going to add the final ingredients. And in this bowl, I have 1.5 cups of Rice Krispies, 1.5 cups of oats. Now I use the quick cooking oats, and I like to modify recipes. And this recipe is really fantastic for kind of cleaning out little bits and pieces you have in your baking supplies. So I've added about 1 cup of butterscotch chips here and about 1/2 cup of very, very tiny chocolate chips. So I'm going to add this to it. Again, you could add nuts, you could add coconut, you can add anything you want to it. It's a great recipe for that. So we're going to slowly add this to the batter we have all nice and mixed. And we don't want to mix it too much because we don't want to break up the Rice Krispies too much. So we're just going to kind of incorporate it slowly, just enough to get it mixed in there. It's going to be really, really chunky. Oh yeah, this is when you hear the machine really working hard. All right, we're done. And that is it. And as you can see, it's really nice and thick. Now, before I put these cookies out on the cookie sheet, I like them to sit for about, 5 minutes if you can, and kind of let them thicken a bit. Because of the oats and the cereal in them, I just find they work a little better if you let them sit before you dish them out. So we're going to let this sit for about 5 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll put them on a cookie sheet. All right, our cookie batter has sat for about 5 minutes, and as you can see here, it's gotten really nice and thick. So it's had time to kind of absorb some of the butter and that kind of thing into the dough. I just find it makes it a little better, so this is what I do. So we're going to scoop some of these out. Now I'm going to use my big scoop here, my big cookie scoop, and basically I just take it out, smooth it over the top as you can see, and just put them down like that. These are going to make some pretty decent sized cookies, but like I said, go big or go home, right? These are for friends, and I want to take some special treats. So we're going to make some nice big Forest Ranger cookies. So I'm just going to fill up the sheet here, and as you can see, using the cookie scoop is so much faster. It's just so much faster. Some cookies you have to roll, and and that's okay. These ones you don't have to roll. You can just drop them by your cookie scoop like this, and you want to give them a little bit of space to spread a bit because they will spread. And then we're going to fill up the sheet really fast. So each sheet looks like I'm going to get about a dozen, and that's perfect. So out of this batch, we will probably end up with about 4 dozen cookies. So I'm going to get these into a 350-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll let you know how long they took, but you only want to cook them till they're just golden brown. All right, so we're going to get these in the oven and we'll come back and check them. Okay, our cookies have just come out of the oven, and I wanted you to see how they look when they come out. And as you can see, they really, really spread. So they have a very golden edge to them here. I don't know if you can see that, but they have really kind of just a golden kiss to the edge, and you want that. No more than that. So these took 12 minutes at 350 degrees in my oven, because as they cool, you still want to have a little bit of like a softness to them, but the crunch from the Rice Krispies and the oatmeal will be there. So once these cool, we'll come back and try one, and I'll show you what they look like inside. Okay, our cookies are done. Well, not done. I'm still baking because I double batched it. I did another batch. I have a lot of people to share with. So I just wanted to show you how the cookies are looking. So this is where I'm at so far. Just a few cookies, just a few. So this is one batch and a dozen. So this is how many you get, a lot of cookies. And I figured I'd just come on and give you a little peek into how these look. They're so soft, and as you can see, the bottom's nice golden. And oh yeah, they have a really nice, they're just such a soft cookie. And look at the inside. Yummy, yummy. And of course, cookies are always better when they're warm, but hey, you're not here to share it with me, so I have to show you this way. So we'll take a little bite. Taste testing is always the best part, right? Usually my husband does this, but he's working outside, so he'll get some when he comes in. But oh my gosh, very, very good. They have a slight chewiness, but you get that little crunchy bit from the Rice Krispies and the oatmeal in there. But you got to try these. You are going to love Forest Ranger cookies, trust me. And like I said, you can make so many changes and additions to it. You can add coconut, you can add raisins, you can add nuts to it, whatever you want, but give it a try. You're going to love these Forest Ranger cookies.